Hello guys, my name is Lee from the Grace of Boxing on Facebook. I just thought I'd bring you another prediction again tonight. It's for potentially one of the most exciting fights of the year. It's against Amir versus Lamont Peterson. I think it's going to be a good fight, to be honest with you. So I think what we'll do is we'll discuss both fighters, their recent wins and losses in some cases, and at the end of the video we'll sit down and we'll have a chat about who is going to win the fight. You've got Amir Khan, who's coming into the fight the WBA champion, super champion and the IBF world champion as well, after his pretty special win over Zabjuda, controversial as it may be with the body shot or the legal body shot, whatever you're going to call it. And you got Lamont Peterson after his recent win of a Victor KO. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but he definitely showed he's got boxing skill. And his draw with Victor Ortiz, as we all know, just been knocked out by Floyd Mayweather in probably one of the most interesting fights of the year. So if we have a look at Amir Khan and see how he's going to perform in the fight, you know, he's extremely fast, extremely fast. He punches in combos. He comes forward in straight lines. That's a big problem with Amir Khan. He always comes forward in straight lines, so he can be predictable. The good thing with Amir Khan, his only saving grace, and the only reason he hasn't been knocked out since Brady's Prescott, is his speed. Now, even though he does come forward in straight lines, which should in theory be ideal for a counterpuncher, his speed, by the time he's got the first punch on there, he's on the second, third, fourth, fifth punch. They haven't got time to try and counterpunch him, and by the time he's slowed down and they've gone to counterpunch him, he's out the way. He's already dancing around the ring, as we saw against Madonna. His chin, I do honestly believe that from 140 pounds is a lot better than it was at 135. I think when he moves to 147 it's going to be even better again, and so I'm really interested to see what Ariz is going to do with that extra 7 pounds. Is it going to be strength? I think he's going to put the extra power into his legs. Then you've got Lamont. You know, he's a very, very solid 140 pound fighter. His only loss was against Timothy Bradley. And unfortunately in that fight he showed his weak side, which we'll get to in a second. He had a draw against Victor Ortiz, and as we said a minute ago, Victor Ortiz was just in the ring with probably one of the best fighters of our era, Floyd Mayweather. And his recent win over KO, which is earning a shot at Amir Khan. Thankfully this time Lamont hasn't been selfish or greedy, and he's decided to accept a career high payday from Amir Khan, which I'm glad to see, because it's definitely for me one of the more exciting fights in this division, which I wanted to see. I wasn't interested in Prescott, I wasn't interested in Madonna rematch. This doesn't appeal to me at all. I do think if there's a rematch between Madonna and Khan, I think the outcome will be exactly the same anyway, a Khan decision. What people don't realise is, as I said this in one of my other previous predictions for Floyd Mayweather and Victor Ortiz, was Peterson was actually sparring with Floyd Mayweather back in 2009, and so the rumours go, and they are rumours because no one was actually going to sit the pen to paper. He done really well. The first day he just done okay. The second day he really held his own, and he gave Floyd Mayweather a bit of a shock, and Team Mayweather couldn't believe how good he was. I find that quite interesting because in his last fight against KO he was okay. You can see his boxing skills good. He likes to work the body. He's got a good chin, which works really well in his favour. His hook's good. He controls the ring well. I can see when it's time, when he needs to stand his ground, he stands his ground, and he's really good at putting his corner. The guy's fighting to a corner. His defence is good. It's not brilliant, but it is good. You know, he keeps his hands up, and when he's letting his hooks go, he keeps his right hand up. He's not extremely fast, but he's got one big downside, which is he just can't deal with pressure. As soon as any fighters start putting pressure on him, as we saw with KO as well, and I know he won that fight, but when he is under pressure, he just kind of locks up, puts his gloves up and just takes punishment. Against a guy like Amir Khan, he's going to punch you in 5-punch combos and fast, and he's going to back up and then do the same thing again. It's not a good thing. So my prediction for this fight, I think it's got, it could go one or two ways. It may go the decision, and that's just down to how good his chin is in Peterson. But I think realistically for me, I think we're going to see an Amir Khan TKO. I think by round 9, straight round 10, Amir Khan's going to win this fight by technical knockout. I don't think Peterson's going to be able to deal with the pressure Amir Khan's going to bring. one thing about Amir Khan, he's just getting better and better and better at every single fight, and he's just started knocking on the front door of the elite club. You know, the guys, we've got Martinez, Floyd, Pac, you know, some of these real big guys, pound for pound fighters that I think Amir Khan, the few weaknesses is definitely something knocking on the door, and he's definitely above world level at the moment. So my prediction is I think that Amir Khan's going to win by technical knockout, round 9 or round 10. I think the ref's going to stop the fight, and Amir Khan's going to win the corner, and he's going to be unleashing hell on Peterson. Thanks very much, guys. Please come visit us on Facebook. It's the Grace of Boxing. I really enjoyed chatting to you guys tonight. I'll try and post a link this time because we're still trying to get more page views on our Facebook page. But the Facebook page is full of boxing fans, and you know, we love you all. We do this because we love the sport. But thanks very much. I'm Lee Stokes. Cheers. Goodbye.